Very light but very beautiful as well. African International Joburg Fashion Week kicks off tomorrow and will be running until Sunday. It will be held at the Melrose Arch. Ahead of the show, 6 African designers were given the platform to showcase their collaborative efforts with international designers in New York during the United Nations General Assembly. They were sponsored and curated by AFI in an effort to introduce African design to the global market. Well, to talk about these events, we're joined now by AFI's Executive Chairperson, Dr. Precious Moloi-Motsepe. Doctor, good morning and thank you very much for coming in.
Good morning, Dan, and thank you for having me.
Are you excited about this latest edition, this upcoming edition of the Fashion Week?
It's always very exciting to see new designs, new talents coming out. But most importantly, this year, I'm really excited about the collaboration with Asian designers. We have this Afro-Asia theme that is going on.
It's going to be exciting. Interesting to see. Has it been easy for you to develop this collaboration between African designers and the rest of the world designers?
When we founded African Fashion International back in 2007, we had the goal of ensuring that we can use the talents that we have on the African continent, in South Africa in particular, and globalize the African fashion aesthetic. We believe that fashion being such a big industry, it's worth about 2.4 trillion US dollars. If it was a country, it would be the 7th largest country in the world in terms of its economy. And African designers need to get a share of this huge economy, and they can because they're very talented.
Okay, is it happening though for them? Are they inroads? Are they getting it? Are they getting that access?
Yes. So what we started back in 2007 was to ensure that we take our local designers, we develop them, promote them locally, but also take them on international platforms. We've showcased them at New York Fashion Week. We've been to Paris Fashion Week, which is, we know, the capital city of fashion. We've taken them to Moscow Fashion Week. We've been to Brazil also to showcase our designers. And there's been a huge interest around the uniqueness and the heritage of African design. And you will recall just recently with movies like Black Panther, there's an increasing interest in what Africa has to offer in terms of creativity, talents, and design.
So Black Panther, Wakanda, they created a little bit of excitement to say Africa has got more to offer, and that will be showcased from tomorrow at the Fashion Week.
We have Fashion Week, AFI Joburg Fashion Week, starting tomorrow at Melrose Arch. We have about 30 designers, African designers, the likes of Imprints, Duelo, Kotazo Totseti, David Kale, who will be showcasing from South Africa. We've got Nigeria, we've got Cameroon, Cambodia, Japan, China. We've got designers, Pan-African designers, as well as these Asian designers.
I've wanted to ask you this question. I haven't interviewed you before, so pardon me if you've been asked. I'm sure you've been asked this question before. Medical doctor to the fashion world. How does that happen? Have you always had a passion for fashion?
Well, I'll tell you, I went into medicine for 2 reasons. Firstly, my mom was a nursing sister, but secondly, I lost my grandmother when I was a very little girl who I loved her very much. And I was told she passed on because of complications due to hypertension. So I promised my mom that I was going to study medicine and I would help people with these chronic illnesses. I started the first women's clinic in Johannesburg after working in the private sector and in the public sector. And then after some time, I thought I needed to explore my other talents. And business was my, the other forte I wanted to see if I could conquer. Fashion was a natural place to start because I'm passionate about fashion, but also because I saw an opportunity for us to propel and showcase African designers. But also, fashion is an industry, the fashion sector creates many jobs within fashion, but also with the related industries like film.
Yeah, because it can be labor intensive, especially on the manufacturing side.
Absolutely. Yeah. But also there's related sectors like film, advertising, that work with fashion, textiles. So it really goes beyond just the clothing that we see on the runway.
It's a nice coincidence that tomorrow we're starting the National Job Summit.
Yes.
And you're starting the Fashion Week.
Correct.
And jobs will be on everybody's mind. Thank you very much for coming in and all the best with the Fashion Week.
Thank you so much.
And your future plans. Yeah.